Good morning all. Today we will be doing chapter 5, South Asia and the Contemporary World. Both chapter 4 and chapter 5 are for 12 marks in the exam. In this new unit, we will be actually studying the South Asia and the contemporary world conflicts, efforts for peace and democratization in South Asia. We will be covering the countries of Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Maldives. South Asia or Southern Asia is the southern region of Asian continent which comprises the sub-Himalayan countries and, for some authorities, some adjoining countries of West and the East. The current territories of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka together form the South Asia, and we have done South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation (SAARC) in the previous chapter. Is an economic cooperation organization in the region which was established in 1985 and includes all the 8 nations comprising of South Asia. Please refer to the map in this PPT and practice the map for the map-based question for the exams. Our chapter actually begins with the painting of the picture by Subhash Rai. Now this painting of Subhash Rai got the inspiration from the painting Liberty Leading the People made by Eugenie Delacroix. This painting was made by Delacroix in 1830, whereas Subhash Rai's painting, which has got inspiration from Delacroix's painting, came as a cover of the magazine Himal South Asia in January 2007, published by the South Asia Trust from Nepal. Before we proceed ahead, we need to understand who was Eugenie Delacroix. Now, Eugenie Delacroix was a French romantic artist. He was also the leader of French Romantic School. He was a lithographer who illustrated various works of William Shakespeare and Walter Scott. We have done Romanticism in class 10th chapter Nationalism in Europe. Now what was this Romanticism? Now this Romanticism was a movement in the arts and literature that originated in 18th century, emphasizing inspiration, subjectivity and primacy of the individual. So it had given more importance to individual rather than monarch, aristocracy, giving more importance to individual life, individual rights of the people. Individualism had come up as a reaction to the Industrial Revolution, the aristocrat and the social and the political norms of the Age of Enlightenment. We have already done the Age of Enlightenment or the Age of Reason or simply the Enlightenment with the help of various philosophers, and we have done this in French Revolution that there were political philosophers who were promoting the Enlightenment thinkers. That is the idea of having a society based on freedom, equal laws and opportunities for all, and these all are very important when we do South Asia. That how the society in South Asia is going to establish based on freedom, equal rights, equal laws, equality of opportunity, freedom of speech and expression, how all this democracy and its ideas will be established in this South Asia. In Enlightenment thinkers, we have already read about John Locke, and he wrote in his book 2 Treatises of Government, where he criticized the divine and absolute right of the rulers. So the rulers should not be having the divine and the absolute rights. Then Rousseau in his book Social Contract, that we have done, that the government should be based on social contract, that is between the people and the representatives. If we look at various countries of South Asia, many of them have actually followed this representative parliamentary democracy, including India. In Montesquieu, in his book The Spirit of Law, where he says that the division of power should be between various important organs of the government like legislature, executive and judiciary, including India. Many of the countries in South Asia follow this, that there should be separation of power in legislature, executive and judiciary, and there should be cross and checks and balances among these three important organs of the government. Now these ideas of these philosophers are discussed by common people of South Asia, from South Asia, that how this actually is going to work in South Asia. Now in this Eugenie, in this painting Liberty Leading the People, Eugenie has actually depicted the French Revolution, the French Revolution, even July Revolution of 1830, where the rebellion by liberals and revolutionaries against the French monarchy. The country had grown displeased by Charles X, who limited the power of press and concentrated the power in the crown. Within 3 days in July, the capital fell to the revolutionaries, who wanted to establish a republic. However, the upper bourgeois succeeded in placing Louis Philippe in the monarchy, and despite some reforms, the public continued to grow disconnected with the monarchy. So they have done a comparison of Europe, how this in Europe this all ideas of democracy was established, how concentrated, limiting the power of monarch, and they have Subhash Rai has used this painting as an inspiration to make his painting depicting democracy, the objective of desire, in his painting, depicting the circumstances of South Asia. Now South Asia people are committed to popular self-rule, to democracy, their willingness to protect and to fight for the system of government against all odds. Where democracy is denied, the desire for it does not die, even after decades of autocratic rule. This and the added truth that the more people experience democracy, the more they are willing to fight for it, are confirmed by the reports in the issue State of Democracy in South Asia, and this report was also brought out by Center of Study of Developing Societies, Delhi. The 5 large countries of the region which were the subjects of studies are represented by the flags held aloft by Subhash Rai's Liberty in this picture. So when India and Pakistan joined the club of nuclear powers, this region suddenly became the focus of global attention. In case of India, in the Rajasthan desert, in the municipality of Pokhran, India successfully detonates its first nuclear weapon, which was a fusion bomb, similar in explosive power of US atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. The test fell on the traditional anniversary of Buddha's enlightenment, and Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi received the message, "Buddha has smiled," from the test site. The test, which made India the world's 6th nuclear power, broke the nuclear monopoly of 5 members of United Nations Security Council. That is, we have done United States, Soviet Union, Great Britain, France and China. India, which suffered continuously border issues with China, that is why India had actually refused to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty in 1968, because it was always fearful of war with China and Pakistan. Also, it wanted to develop the nuclear deterrent. That means India is a country having the nuclear weapons, so the other countries should deter to attack India. The successful detonation of its first bomb on May 18, 1974 set up expanded arms race with Pakistan that saw no further nuclear tests but the development of lethal intermediately long-range ballistic missiles by both countries. On May 11, 1998, India resumed nuclear testing, leading to an international outrage and Pakistan's detonation of its first nuclear bomb later in the same month. So in this chapter we try to understand the nature of conflict and cooperation among the different countries of the region, since much of this is rooted in or conditioned by the domestic politics of these countries. So this area has been the region of turbulent because there are conflicts of various kinds in this region. There are pending border disputes, water sharing disputes among the states of the regions of South Asia. Besides, there are conflicts that are arising out of insurgencies, ethnic strifes and resource sharing. At the same time, though this area may be having a lot of conflict, but the people of South Asia recognize the fact that this region can develop and prosper if the states of the region cooperate with each other.